When I was 13, I watched my first episode of Doctor Who, and the show has stuck with me ever since. Now, if you don't know what Doctor Who is, it is basically a British science fiction series that is centered around the Doctor, a Time Lord that uses a blue police telephone box to travel through time and space. On his journeys, the Doctor is often joined by a companion who helps him fight against enemies and save people who are in need. Now, it may sound as if Doctor Who is just a science fiction series, but the show has also its comedic and dramatic moments which are appealing to viewers of all ages. That is partly why I myself am a big fan of the series. A second reason why I appreciate and love Doctor Who that much is because Doctor Who has been my first introduction to the English language. Of course, I've had English classes in school, but the experience that I had while learning English in school wasn't as memorable and fun as watching Doctor Who on my own. So I always wondered why we never really used TV series like Doctor Who in our EFL classes. Of course, we've had lessons where we used video-based material in our English class, but the material that we had in class is so different from what we are used to when we are watching TV series or movies. So there is a distinction to be made between video-based material for the EFL classroom and, let's say, authentic videos like TV series such as Doctor Who. EFL video-based material is often designed for the EFL classroom. That means that the language that is used within these videos is much slower and simplified.
Wow! You are not going to throw that away. That is bad for the forest. He is not going to try that again.
This simplification is convenient since students of all kinds of language level are able to understand what is happening and understand the concept that is behind the video. The video-based material is often part of a multimedia package, so you not only have the video, but also viewing guides, student workbooks, video transcripts, and a teacher's manual. Using Doctor Who in the EFL classroom is quite challenging for the English learners, but I believe that the series has benefits that the EFL videos can provide. Firstly, the language that is presented in the series is more realistic. Realistic in the aspect that the language is unsimplified and spoken in a normal pace.
And tonight we're expecting very strong ghosts.
So basically, Eileen, what you're telling me is that you are in love with a ghost.
Is Michael...
Idioms, slang, and a wide variety of English accents are being used. This is a great way of exposing the English learners to a less artificial learning experience. Secondly, a glimpse of the British culture can be provided through the show. Although Doctor Who is a science fiction series, there are moments where we are able to get an impression of how a typical day in the UK would look like. This is possible by observing the Doctor's companions. Take Rose as an example. Through her, we can see certain values, customs, fashion trends, and much more. Additionally, the aspect of culture can provide input for cross-cultural discussions and writing activities, which can lead to the improvement of the second language learners' awareness of their own culture. Lastly, using a TV series like Doctor Who could motivate the second language learner to continue watching videos in the foreign language. They might seek out their own favorite shows and implement this learning experience in their free time. And if they are successful at doing so, a sense of accomplishment is a natural occurrence. There are, naturally, downsides and dangers to consider before using Doctor Who in the EFL class. Since Doctor Who is a product of the entertainment industry, the show was not designed for language teaching. Therefore, the language might not be comprehensible for every second language learner. Topics as well as other situations of the science fiction show are most likely not every student's cup of tea. So it is up for the teacher to review and prepare an appropriate approach to teaching English through Doctor Who. This is more time consuming than simply using the material from the EFL packages. And Perhaps the most important aspect to be careful about is the historical accuracy of Doctor Who. There are obvious segments where fictional scenes are easy to distinguish, but what happens when a historical figure makes an appearance? Doctor Who has had many historical figures portrayed in the show. Most notably was perhaps Madame de Pompadour. In the episode The Girl in the Fireplace, the Doctor and his companions, Rose and Mickey, are thrown into the 18th century with the task of saving Madame de Pompadour's life as alien androids are trying to steal her brain. Now, it is obvious that no aliens actually tried to steal Madame de Pompadour's brain. But what about Madame de Pompadour? Is the portrayal of her life in the series accurate? This is a very important subject. To quote Andrew Butler, an associate professor of psychological brain sciences, if students are not informed about the historical inaccuracies that are being shown on screen, there is the threat of them believing the misinformation. So, to avoid this misleading effect, Butler states that it is significant to point out the specific historical inaccuracies before viewing the video. So, if TV series like Doctor Who are going to be used in the EFL classroom, it is very, very, very important to review and prepare the sessions attentively to avoid inappropriate situations and learning misleading facts. So, should Doctor Who be used to teach English in the EFL classroom? I would say absolutely, yes. It would be a great opportunity since the show is fun and entertaining to watch. Furthermore, Doctor Who provides a more natural experience of language learning in comparison to EFL videos. Now, I am by no means against the usage of EFL videos. The EFL material is great for teaching the basics of the English language, and they are easier to comprehend for second language learners with lower language skills. Apart from these points, I personally think that EFL videos are just a bit too artificial.